Why is this so glitchy right here?
Is it on a phone?
It's on the iPad.
Cool.
Hey, Matt, it's just you and Kara.
He's prepped. Uh-oh. Matt, you're muted. I was muted for a while too.
Oh.
Am I there yet?
Oh, what's up?
Yeah.
What's up? Whoa.
Ooh, I like your
that.
surfboards.
Thanks.
So, yeah, I'm glad you actually tuned in.
I gotta show some Zoom support. I told you, like, this is like my first Zoom. Well, no, I take it back. I've done Zooms for my kids' school, but Zoom. Zoom. There we go.
It's a thing now.
So, yeah, I think it's you, Kara, and somebody else. But yeah, we're just kind of getting started. I don't know. We're just gonna. I don't know what we're gonna do.
We'll just ask some questions.
Yeah. But I'm stoked that you joined because Matt was the director for a lot of the images that you see.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like the color Tristan one. That was the first time I ever shot color film.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was really fun.
How nervous were you? Let's talk about that. You were super nervous.
Yeah, because it's like $75 raw.
Yeah, you were super nervous. You're just like, I saw some serious consternation on your face when you were like, oh, what stop should I put it down to? Oh, like, whereas like when we were filming the black and white, you know, like you didn't have any of those like real like. Well, we were just worried about like with the long lens trying to get things in focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different when you're shooting expired film from eBay versus they cost $75 for like 10 rolls versus like $75 for one roll.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, how much did the color roll cost?
$75 for 100 feet.
And how many minutes is that?
That was 3 minutes.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is high stakes.
Big time.
And black and white is how much?
Kind of. Oh, it's Phil. Yeah.
Hey, Chris.
Hi, Phil.
Hi, Phil.
Hey, Cara.
Yep.
How are you? Kara.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
No. How's it going? Things all right?
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah. Chris is
It's
having
just,
a Zoom.
it's just us. Like, hello.
Just us chickens.
Yes.
Did you go to sitting room?
Not yet.
You're doing president on the floor.
But yeah, I guess.
Should we start?
Yeah.
Make this.
How many minutes is on one cartridge or one roll of film?
It's about 3 minutes for 100 feet. Yeah. It's supposed to be 3 minutes and 30 seconds, but I don't know. We've been getting 3 minutes for some reason.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Getting 30 whole seconds.
Yeah. 10%.
Yeah.
I think for this screen to like go back to full screen, everyone else has to be muted.
Really?
Because it's like the last person who talks.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you guys see?
So I don't know.
There's a
I'm not sure how to make that. I'm not sure how to make that the main image.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. Yeah. But anyway, I don't know what to say because I feel like you guys know everything already.
Well, people on YouTube might not know.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Because you're going to be a YouTube star.
Oh, that's right. Everybody's gonna be a YouTube star.
Everyone's a YouTube star.
I guess we should do it official.
Okay.
Uh,
Do you want to introduce yourself, Chris?
no. Well, yeah, I guess here's how do we make this?
There you go.
Yeah, I guess for this show, I called it the ABC of the amateur movie maker, and yeah, for this show, I just wanted to show just all the fun that I've been having learning about shooting 16mm film. I guess when I first started, I didn't really want to make a movie, but I just wanted to kind of experiment with the process. And it was during like the whole lockdown of 2020. And I was kind of just looking for something to do at home. So yeah, I would shoot the film and then develop it outside, dry it in my bathtub. And then like 3 days later, I finally had the negatives. And I actually didn't even start scanning them. I just kind of look at the negatives in the little movie viewer that I have on display. But they were negative images. So I never really saw a real 16mm film until we shot with Matt, the color stuff. So that was kind of awesome to see that. And I think I just wanted to show all the fun that I've been having and all the cool stuff kind of associated with it. So I put in like the movie viewer. I got the little editing tool that I would use to cut the negatives and splice them back together. And then my favorite piece would be the one in the middle. It's like a collage.
I don't know how to do a pointer.
I don't know how to do Zoom.
This one.
How do you make the photos come back?
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, this one.
This one.
Yeah. I think this was my favorite piece probably because it kind of showed I feel like it shows the whole process of me kind of trying to learn how to shoot this 16mm camera. And it's just a collage of all the different brochures that came with the things that I bought. A lot of it is from like the Bolex user manual. My favorite ones are the Russian ones. So I had to order a developing tape from Russia, and it came in a big package with a ton of stamps on it. And inside the package was a little manual on how to use the tank, but it was actually in Russian, so I couldn't read it, but I could kind of figure it out. And so that was a lot of fun, just figuring out how to develop my own film and how to dry it, because 50 feet of film is a lot. It's like, I don't know if you ever, if you use cassette tapes and the cassette tape comes out of the cassette. A couple of times that kind of scenario happened to me in it. And I just have my hands in the changing bag and it'd be like a huge bird's nest of film. And I'd have to untangle it in the dark, like 50 feet of film. It's kind of, it was a fun challenge to kind of learn. And it's not perfect, which I really liked a lot. Like the development was really uneven. There's weird artifacts and spots and stuff. And I think that kind of stuff is what I tried to look for when I was looking for stuff to print. I think like my favorite one would be that.
So we have to stop sharing that one. Here, we'll just share for the work.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This would be one of the examples of a weird artifact. This is one of Matt at Bowles, and it's got a black hole sun right there in the top corner. which was cool. I don't know how that happened. I think maybe the film overlapped or something while I was developing it. So yeah, that was really neat, that kind of stuff. Kyoki, Apple, oh no, North Shore, Matt again. That's the viewer with like a sneak preview of the movie that Matt's directing. It's gonna be a short film later, but this is 2 rolls of, actually it's just 1 roll of raw footage that we shot. That's the first time I shot color and had it developed professionally. It came out way cleaner than the black and white body sir. Yeah. So I think for me, oh, no, sure. That one was a 300th century. I think it's called Century, but that one I was looking through a book about Bruce Brown, and I saw that lens that he may have used that for the Endless Summer. So I looked for that lens and bought. Actually, did we get that one at Ecotown, Matt? The 300? Yeah. Yeah, actually, me and Matt scored a couple of them at Ecotown somehow. I don't know why they were there.
$100 was a
Yeah.
score.
Was that because I have a 300 and 150. And yeah, somehow we just got them. They kind of just appeared. So I guess somebody was shooting them here and sold them to Ecotown. And then Matt picked it up. I think Kali saw it and then texted Matt.
Yep. Sent me a message.
Yeah.
That's $100.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a really, I think it's like it's probably about a 650 millimeter lens if you compare it to a 35 millimeter, the kind of zoom that you get. So yeah, it's actually a little bit hard to not be all shaky with it. I think some of the footage that I shot that might be on here.
I think that might be the last.
Oh, maybe not.
Maybe you can't show a video.
Oh, shucks. Yeah. This one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, maybe you have to
Disappear.
Anyway, yeah, we're gonna show I was gonna show the raw footage from the black and white that was kind of like the photos that I decided to print, but we can't figure it out.
Is it okay if I switch it to the normal?
Yeah. That is cool. But anyway, did anybody have any questions?
Yeah. We have like a list of questions from Instagram too,
oh, yeah.
if you want to.
Do you want to show the camera or the lens?
Oh yeah. Yeah, so here's the camera. It's called a Bullx H16 Reflex Rex 4. One of the later ones, I guess. They have a Rex 5, but I got this one because I don't think I'm ever gonna shoot 400 feet of film. So this one just shoots 100 feet of film. And yeah, there's no like. Let's wind it up. Awkward. So you can change your different shutters. Frame rates. So normally we were shooting at 24 frames a second, but a couple of times we shot at 48 frames to get slow-mo. Yeah, and then you can shoot it.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, the lenses come off. And we usually, when we shoot the 300, it's about that big. We have a little rail to support it. I didn't bring that one. But this is a 10 millimeter that I like to shoot a lot because it's kind of wide angle. It's pretty easy to shoot. You don't get as much shake. So I'm not the steadiest at shooting, but I think I did okay on a couple shots handheld, but normally I shoot on a tripod. And it has a turret. You could mount 3 lenses and then switch between the 3. No film inside, but normally you put your film here and then you load it onto the pickup spool. Those are the loop formers. Yeah.
What year?
I mean, I think people that shoot 16 millimeter say the bullet is super easy to load, but I actually had kind of a lot of trouble. It was hard for me to get the film to go the right way, but slowly getting better, I think. Yeah. And yeah, one time when we were at Bowls, somebody asked why would I want to shoot this camera? Like, I think a lot of people have probably run into that question, like, why do you want to shoot film? Like, what's the point? And I thought it irritated me. No, I thought that was a good question. It made me think, yeah, why do I want to shoot the film? It's really hard and expensive, and you get cleaner images off of a digital camera. But I think for me, the challenge and all the messed up parts, like Matt's black hole sun, and just the cameras themselves, like just the way they're built, just a joy to shoot. Yeah, I think that's probably the reason for me. I don't think I would want to really make films any other way. It's just too much fun to do it this way. And the challenge is when you get a good image, you're pretty stoked, I think. It's not like a guarantee, I think. So it makes it more special when you actually do get a good image. Yeah. It's kind of like, why do Jedi use lightsabers? Yeah, it's fun.
What's the difference between like the Rex and the non-Rex versions of those Bolexes?
Wow, that's a good question. So the Rex, you can actually see through the lens. You can see the focus and stuff. And then they have the non-Rexes, which just have a viewfinder. I think there might be like an attachment where you can see through the lens through the side somehow. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, it's just way easier to get the Rex model so you can see the focus and all that. Yeah, but I don't know too much about the non-reflex ones. But it actually only sends about 1/3 of the total light to the viewfinder. So it sends 2/3 to the film and then 1/3 to the viewfinder. So if you can imagine that, it's like probably way darker than like a normal film camera. And then you're shooting at like f11 or f16, so then it gets really dark. So it's really hard to see like through the viewfinder while you're shooting. So sometimes I gotta, especially when it's sunny out, like I have to wear sunglasses before and then take them off and then look through the hole. So my kind of like, almost like you get night vision. You don't want to mess up your night vision. So it's definitely tricky to shoot, I think. So usually I'll focus all the way wide open, stop down, and it gets all dark, and then start filming. But yeah, it's a little tricky. I'm still not the greatest at all that. So it makes me appreciate all the people like that made all those films back in the day. It seems so much harder. But they probably, yeah. But then I've seen other people shoot where they don't even look through the viewfinder. They know where to send everything. They just shoot. Yeah, good question.
And so that's the way you kind of meter it, is through that process?
Yeah, I have an app that I use. It's kind of complicated. Yeah. This is the app that I got. But yeah, you just set in your frame rate. You can change the shutter angle. And then I just compensate for the loss of light from the viewfinder. Yeah. I don't think I'd be able to figure it out without this app, actually. It's confusing.
Do you want to answer some questions from Instagram?
Yeah.
One question is, can you push and pull Super 8 film?
Yeah.
Just
because it's pretty much just like regular, the stuff I was processing. Yeah, it's pretty much just like regular 35mm film. They can pretty much do all the same stuff.
Were you pushing your film?
No, but I was I don't know what I was doing when I first started. I was just guessing the development times.
There you go.
I was using Xtalk. And yeah, I couldn't find any information online of how long to develop it and all this and that. So yeah, it's just kind of guessing. So I don't know if I was pushing or pulling it. I think I was probably pushing it because the negatives are really dense.
Someone asked, what is your favorite color film to use?
I've only used one so far. But it was sick, the Ectochrome. Yeah, that was the one with Matt. But yeah, it came out. It was really cool. I was a little scared because when you shoot slide film in a still camera, you don't really have much leeway for over and under exposure. So I was kind of scared. I was like, does this phone light meter actually work? Or is my camera actually properly exposing? So there's like so many variables, and it's kind of scary because of just the cost involved. I didn't want to let Matt down because he spent like $150 on the film, and then I think how much on the development? 300?
And then what about for black and white?
Black and white?
Yeah.
I was shooting a lot of double X.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the Cinestill makes 35mm. I forgot what they call it. I think they just call it double X too. But yeah, it's the same stuff as the Cinestill, black and white. And then I switched from Xtalk to using D96, which I guess is the correct developer for the motion picture film. So I was able to find like more information about times and stuff.
So D76 or
it's actually D96.
D96 works better than Xtalk?
I don't know. I kind of like the Xtalk too. But at least the D96 is like what you're supposed to use.
Was Xtalk like more contrasty?
I don't know. To me, it felt like it was maybe a little sharper. Yeah. Hard to say though.
Makes sense.
Yeah, because I don't really know what a good. I know it was overexposed or overdeveloped. But yeah, I don't know enough to know really what's going on. So luckily the scanner kind of tried to adjust for everything, all of the mistakes. Yeah.
I think you already answered it, but how many minutes of roll or how many minutes of film is in a roll?
About 3 minutes, I guess, if you're shooting 24 frames. And then I guess it would be half of that if you're shooting slow motion. You're shooting 48 frames a second.
And that's like for every roll?
Yeah, for every 100-foot roll. But some of the Bolexes, you can put that big thing on the top that you see some like movie cameras have, and it holds a 400-foot roll. I think that's too big. I could only develop 50 feet at a time anyway. So yeah, 400 feet would be a nightmare.
What size are these prints? Did you just like contact print them, or did you use an larger?
Yeah, so yeah, these ones I made in a larger. Yeah, they're just 5x7s. I put them in little. I've been really liking using the little Kodak vintage contact printing frames as little frames. I just put them in there, and I noticed when I printed 8x10s, it didn't look as good. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, here's a 5x7. Then the 8x10 didn't look as sharp. I don't know if it was my larger lens or the film itself, that it's so small. That's so tiny that I don't know. You can hold up. I think, yeah. Yeah, compared to 35 millimeter. Oh, Mike joined us. What's that?
Sorry, I'm trying to like make it so ours is the main, but I have no idea
That's
how to do that.
Ah.
You just keep it like that.
Yeah.
Cool. What other questions? Yeah, you already answered. What's your favorite? So motion picture film stock, is that the same as the Cinestill?
Yeah, yeah, but I think like tracks and stuff is different.
Yeah.
And the color stuff is different, but maybe the Ektachrome might be the same.
And then I think you already answered this one too, but metering for the bullets, you use your phone.
Yeah.
What app is that you use?
Forget. Oh, Scene meter too, or Cinemeter.
Scene meter?
Scene meter too, whatever, something like that.
Cool. What's the biggest difference between shooting 16 millimeter and Super 8? Because you shot both for this project, right? Or like that one, the toy camera.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The negative is like, if this is kind of small already, the Super 8 is like even more small. And so you don't get as good resolution. It's kind of like, it's almost like 35 millimeter film versus medium format in the still terms. So yeah, you just get way more resolution. I guess everything's more expensive.
For Super 8?
Or for 16. A little bit. You gotta load it yourself. But you can actually see on the negative, which I like when you're looking at Super 8, when you look at the film, it's about this. To me, it looks the size of a cassette tape, like old school audio kind. So you can't even really tell what you shot. So it's not that exciting. Like I would develop it and then I'd look at it and I'd be like, I don't even know what this is. I can't really see it. But this film, at least I could be like, oh yeah, looks like pipeline. But yeah, so it's more. I think it's more enjoyable.
So you prefer 16?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said that you started thinking about this project during the pandemic. So were you like surfing a bunch during then, or
yeah?
I guess like what sparked you wanting to do this project in particular?
Yeah, I think I just wanted to do something new.
Something.
Yeah,
fun.
something that wasn't photography, but it was photography, I guess.
Yeah.
Something new, and yeah, shooting. Yeah, I think the reason is a lot of it is surfing is probably because I would just go out and shoot with Matt a lot. We shoot stuff for trim, and I go call up Kali and we go shoot like Queens or something easy. Yeah, I think shooting surfing is kind of relaxing and fun, easy. It's like, yeah, it's not like you're trying to direct a movie kind of thing. Just sit there on the beach and look for cool stuff.
That's awesome. What else do we have? So most of it's like DIY, right? Because you can't really do it here. Like there's no places that do that. Did you run into any like major issues with that from a good DIY standpoint?
No, I think I did it. Yeah, that kind of stuff is probably my favorite part. Just developing the film and figuring that out. I think I did start to get sick of it though, because it takes like 2 days to develop one roll. So yeah, you have to load up 50 feet, and then you're supposed to be able to do 100 feet on 2 separate reels inside the tank, but I haven't ever been able to do that. So I'd load up 50 feet, develop it outside my house, bring it inside, dry it in the bathroom overnight. And then the next day I'd do the other 50 feet and then dry that overnight. And then I'd splice it together. So it would take so long to do 100 feet of film that like I shot 3 rolls and I was like, holy crap, this is gonna take like 2 weeks to develop. But, yeah, I don't think I really messed up too bad. Maybe some overlapping, but that was kind of the stuff that I really like to get.
Yeah.
All that messed up grungy mess.
I definitely think that's like the fun part about your work.
Yeah.
I
want to save money. It's so expensive to develop it.
Do you know, or did you look at any artists to influence this particular body of work? Or did you just kind of go shoot and have fun and whatever happened?
Yeah, mostly, yeah. I think like the 60s surf movies. Yeah, stuff like that.
So did you watch 60s surf movies like
before
you went out?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. I think the last question is, what projects do you have in the works next?
Oh, I think, me and Matt wanted to finish the film that we started on the color stuff. Do you want to talk about that, Matt, at all? Oh, maybe we muted everybody.
Am I muted now?
Oh,
there you go.
All right. Yeah, we're gonna be getting at least 2 more rolls, right? And then going out to finish the waves. But we gotta bring binoculars next time because right, like you have to have somebody spotting you for that 300 because there's no way you can. I like you said, it's so hard to see through that thing. I had no idea it was like that dark because looking through it's very tough. So yeah. So I mean $150 just for the film. Yeah. And I wanted to ask, do you think we got 3 minutes because we did do slow motion on that? And so that would have made it 3 minutes rather than 3.5. If we hadn't done any slow motion, we would have actually gotten 3.5 minutes.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Because I was like, there's no way. There's no way they're gonna sell it. And yeah.
I thought it was like because when you load it in the daylight, the first like film gets messed up, and then when you take it out, the last of the roll gets messed up because they're daylight loading reels, but they don't cover the in between part.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought it was, but I guess it must have been the slow motion.
Yeah. But we wanted to make this this particular short because we were inspired by this 70s photograph. And it was actually an ad in a surf magazine for Con surfboards of Tony Alva and Jay Boy skating down with their surfboards to go for a surf in Venice. And so it's the coolest like 70s photo maybe ever. So that was our inspiration, our inspiration point. So that's excited. Yeah. Hopefully we get some good waves at bowls.
Yeah.
While you were talking, it made me think of one more question. Can you guys talk a little bit about like collaborating with each other on this and like how that's impacted the project in itself?
Yeah, I think or collaborating with just Matt in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like the collaboration aspect, kind of always adds something to projects. So.
Yeah, it's nice having somebody to direct it while you're trying to figure out all the settings and stuff.
Chris and I have been working together for like a couple of years, and our first collaboration was these 8x10 shots over at the Bowls parking lot. I was really interested to work with Chris because of his use with old cameras, and basically like he says, like the magic comes from like the mistakes. Like you can get perfect shots with a digital camera and that's great and all, but like there's something to be said for those mess ups. I don't know. Like I think we both really really dig messing up and like in the magic that comes out of that. And so that's for me, like that's the funnest bit. And like, and I just try to tell Chris like, hey, this is like what I see, but like I don't try to ever tell him what to do or how to frame it or how to. I want him to have as much control as possible. You don't want to be like an over direction, if that makes any sense. Like my ethos is like the less direction possible, like it's probably the best. So
I think too, the mess ups, I don't know if that's just like me trying to rebel against like going to photo school at UH and trying to learn how to do everything perfect, no dust and no spots and perfectly developed negatives. I don't know, it just feels so good to be so grungy. Like I really love it. To me, it's beautiful. It's like, so I don't really like handle the film in a gingerly way, or I don't try to keep it clean. I don't worry if it's not developed so good. I really like, for some reason, I really been liking all that stuff. It feels real to me, I guess. It's like kind of a relief where I'm just like, yeah, whatever, just gonna handle this film, get some fingerprints and dust. It's gonna be all good.
It's so funny.
Yeah. Sometimes you start getting anxiety thinking about like trying to make everything so perfect. Yeah.
So you weren't stressed out about people viewing the film here?
I think it held up pretty good.
It did.
I just had to repair it once. The viewer died, the Fisher Price viewer.
Oh no.
But yeah, we can always repair it. It might end up looking better after. It might have cool like scratches and dust and stuff. It's gonna be artificially aged. It's gonna look like it's from the 60s after all this is done.
Did you just get that off eBay or something?
The viewer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Actually, I had to order it twice because the first time it got stolen off my porch or something.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Oh.
Well, do you guys have any other questions or want to talk about anything?
I might have a question.
Oh.
Say you're talking about the difference between 8mm and 16mm. I might have missed it. But so would you recommend someone just jumping into getting a 16mm, or would it be like the learning curve too high? Like what would you say would be the starter setup where someone could get into it and, you know, actually enjoy doing it rather than, you know, be intimidated by failing?
I'd probably do Super 8 because that's how I started. Is you just pop the cartridge in, the camera's like auto exposure. All you got to worry about is focusing. But I don't know. I think if you shoot regular film, you're comfortable shooting like a camera without a light meter. And then I think I would try shooting 16. But if you're more like a point and shoot person, then you'll have a lot of fun just shooting the Super 8. They're both really cool. They have different aesthetics, I think. Super 8's more jumpy, like the frames jump around kind of a little bit more, lower res. You get hand-hold it a lot easier. So,
is there any type of like things to look out for, like stuff like, you know, stuff that you came up with when you were learning the craft? Do you have any pointers for anybody who's starting? No, yeah, you just had it the first time. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think just go shoot and get it developed. Yeah, I don't know. I can't think of any good pointers.
Is the development similar to like 35mm?
Yeah.
It's like the same. You just
it's like you load onto a reel and then agitate it. Developer, stop bath, mixer, try it.
Would you recommend developing your first roll, or do you think you would, maybe hindsight being what it is, maybe you would send it off to see how a lab would develop it and scan it before trying it yourself?
I think so, yeah, because that was like a lot of variables. I was using expired film, and I didn't know if I was developing it good, or I didn't know if I was exposing it good. So I was just like, I don't think I really knew what I could do better, because I didn't know really what was going wrong. So yeah, I think probably shoot a roll and then have it professionally developed. Probably a fresh roll, not expired one. And just keep like the variables low so you can really figure out what's going on. So I was like, does this look crappy because it's expired, or did I develop it bad, or am I exposing it bad? I didn't know.
There's two good things going on.
Do you know a lab to send it to?
I sent it to, a lot of people do Pro 8mm for the Super 8. And then I found a lab from the guy who scans my film called Video and Film Solutions, and they've been pretty good. Yeah, I think they're like just an old school place but I usually look for like the cheapest ones. They're still pretty good. But a lot of people send it to Yale. That's where Matt sent the positive film. I'm kind of more of a bargain hunter, so I look for all the cheaper ones that are still pretty decent.
Do you see a big difference in the quality of the development?
I don't know. I don't think my eye is good enough to know the difference. Yeah. But yeah, I think all the people that do it seriously would recommend Yale, probably.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I think thanks for tuning in, friends.
We'll post it on YouTube for anyone who missed it, to be a YouTube star also.
Yeah. I look forward to shooting more stuff and collaborating with all you guys.
Cool.
Okay, bye.
Good job.
Okay, thank you for tuning in. Okay, bye.
Thank you.